I don't ever want to get to the point where I take people's sincere well wishes casually. I'm always stunned and grateful that people care. And so, no, it's definitely not. And I'm surprised that I seem to be moving towards some health. And so, definitely not. I'm looking for being back and to doing all the things that are in front of me that I could do if I was healthy. I came across this last week and someone tweeted me this cartoon, this Captain America comic, and I saw this screenshot of Red Skull looking at a computer screen, and it said 10 rules for life. That was one text box. It said order and chaos, and there was a couple of other boxes, and I thought, wow, that seems to be making a reference to my work. I mean, 10 rules for life is pretty close to 12 rules for life, and of course, the main themes I discuss are order and chaos. I mean, one book is about order and the other's about chaos, and my first book is about both. So it's a joke, associating my ideas with this arch villain, magic super Nazi Red Skull. And then as I looked into it more deeply, as people sent me more information, it became clear that at least some of the inspiration for this Red Skull character in this Captain America variant appeared to be targeting, let's say, or satirizing or warning about my ideas. And so I've been playing with that ever since, I suppose, on Twitter. People are producing memes now of Red Skull superimposed upon the picture of him, things I've actually said instead of the hypothetical things that the people who don't like me wish I said and then purposefully misinterpret. And so that's that, and something playful. It's so absurd. It shocked me to begin with. I couldn't believe it to begin with, especially when I found out who the author of the comic book was. So, he's intellectual figure among the leftist community, relatively well known and politically correct. And I didn't expect it. It really threw me for a loop to begin with. I mean, it's really something to see yourself portrayed, let's say, parodied, satirized as I've been called a Nazi before. It's not pleasant, but this is one step beyond that. Nazi apparently isn't enough. I have to be a magical super Nazi. It's so surreal and absurd that I couldn't believe it to begin with. And then I think what's happening with it is so comical because Red Skull is a demonic character and in his looks and in his actions, and people are putting my words over his representation, and there's a jarring discontinuity between the visual image and the actual words, especially for the quotes that have been derived from my talks that are in some sense more straightforward and commonsensical, like clean up your room or don't lie. They're not exactly the sorts of messages that the most malevolent imaginable Nazi supervillain would dream up and promulgate. So I think we're doing a t-shirt based on this image a kid developed in Eastern Europe, which is a variant of the Hail Hydra logo, except it's transformed into a lobster. We're going to market a limited edition poster and then donate all the proceeds to charity. That's today's plan. That should be launched by tomorrow. Well, it's kind of an interesting challenge, and because I've been so ill, it's been very difficult for me to maintain my sense of humor, which is a terrible loss. It's the best response to that sort of thing is a deaf play, rather than outrage, even though it's outrageous to the point of being surreal. And that's partly why it was so shocking to me. I couldn't believe that possibly be real, but there it was. And many people who fancy themselves as my enemies have pointed out that